What's up, guys? It's Derek from 4Runner Lifestyle, and today I'm going to show you how to install these Meso Customs Ultimate Dual Color Map Lights on your 4Runner. Let's get into it. All right, so on the interior of the 5th gen Toyota 4Runner, you got these two map lights right here that are designed to help you see when you're in the passenger or driver's seat of the vehicle. These are the lights we're going to be replacing today. Now, the only thing you really need to do is take the plastic pieces out as well as the bulbs and then plug in the new one. It's super easy to do. Now, the only tool you're actually going to need to do this install is a plastic pry tool of some kind. You can use a flathead screwdriver, but I highly recommend a plastic pry tool just in the interest of not scratching up your interior in the install process. The other thing you will want to have, but it's not required, is some kind of tape. Now, electrical tape is actually the best tape to have. I didn't have any electrical tape, so I'm going to use duct tape in this example. Right, so our first step is going to be extremely straightforward. All we need to do is remove these plastic coverings right here. There's 3 of them in total. Now, the easiest way to do this is to take your plastic pry tool and you're going to insert it on the outside of this housing right here. It should activate your light, and then you're going to pry behind it, and it will usually come flying out pretty quickly. That should loosen this middle piece. If not, you'll notice that these pieces are only being held on by these little arm clip pieces that hold it inside. I'm not really sure what to call those, but they just clip it in and hold it in place. So you'll notice this piece is just clipped in position just like that. So what you need to do is apply some pressure here. This will pop out just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing to this 3rd plastic piece right here. And since this one's already come out a little bit, it was really easy to remove. But once those 3 plastic pieces have been removed, you'll notice you now have access to the exposed bulbs here. Now on mine, I've actually already swapped the interior bulbs to upgraded LEDs from Dial Dynamics, but factory, these would be incandescent bulbs and they would be much less bright. All right, so now that we can see these exposed LED diodes in here, there's one right there and one right there. Yours are going to be incandescent bulbs. Now, believe it or not, this is actually going to be the hardest part of the install, is getting those bulbs out. Now, if you have the upgraded LEDs like I do, they're actually a lot easier to just reach in and pull out. This is what they look like. So they got a little tab that connects up there, and that's it. That's the bulb itself. But if you have the bulbs themselves, they take up a lot more space and they're a lot harder to grab and pull out. Now, that's where the electrical tape is actually going to come into play. The one more thing that you'll notice is I've actually taken out this metal cover right here just so you guys can see the difference in each side. Now, I wouldn't do this on yours. I actually had to cut it right there in order to do this. But you can see it's actually a lot easier to access without that metal shroud here. When the metal shroud is there, as you can see on this side, it creates this little funnel, and it's really hard to use your fingers to pinch that light bulb because of that funnel. It makes it really hard to get a grip on it. So that's where the electrical tape is going to come into play. We're going to use duct tape today. You can also use needle nose pliers if you would like. The only thing you have to worry about is potentially breaking the bulb or scratching something up in here using those needle nose pliers. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the tape and you're going to wrap it around the end of the bulb. So the end of the bulb is sticking out. We're going to put the tape inside. We're going to wrap it around the bulb like this. Create a little bit of a tab by mashing the tape together, and then we can use the tape to pull the bulb out. This works with electrical tape as well, and that's how I would get out the next bulb that's shrouded in this kind of metal housing. Like I said before, you can also use needle nose pliers if you're not worried about breaking that bulb. That might be a little bit easier because these bulbs can be tricky to remove. Now again, for me, because I have the upgraded Dow Dynamics bulbs, they're much easier to grab. So I can just stick my 2 fingers in there, pinch it, and pull it out. Again, you guys can see how it's connected there. It just kind of slides into place and makes a connection with those tabs. The OEM bulbs will look different, but they will connect exactly the same. All right, so next we're going to go ahead and open up our Meso Customs dual color map lights. Now this is going to come in 3 separate pieces, and these 3 separate pieces are going to match exactly to the 3 plastic pieces we just removed, and they replace them entirely. So on the back here, you guys will see there are plugs and connections that we need to run. This whole thing will be wired together. So you'll have this one piece basically connected by the wiring And all we need to do to start is to plug in the corresponding sides in the same places we just unplugged our factory bulbs. So you have this one continuous piece right here, and what you need to do to start is line this up using the centerpiece. And the way you're going to do that is using this black plastic right here in the center of where your factory map lights are. That is going to correspond with the hole right here on your new map lights. Now, the way these have to be installed is with the button on the top facing the back of the vehicle like this. It won't install properly because of the alignment this way. You can see how that doesn't work. So you have to install them with the buttons on the top like that. So what you need to do to start is flip this around, and you're going to make sure that each of the harnesses is going the right direction. So make sure your buttons are going up. Next, we just need to plug these in to the factory holes where we removed those bulbs to start. Now, one thing you will notice is that these connectors right here have a flat side or a wide side and a skinny side. So the way these install is with the wide side moving horizontal this direction and not vertical. So they install this way and not that way, if that makes sense. I'll show you right now. So you're going to install these. You're going to go ahead and install them with the tabs facing this way, just like this. We're going to go ahead and take this tab. We're going to make sure it's moving horizontal this way. And you're going to go ahead and find that position where the original bulb was installed. And this is just going to plug into that position the same way the bulb was. You guys can see that's plugged in now. We're just going to repeat the process on the other side. Again, it's going to go this way and not that way. This way. We're going to turn it this way. So we find the connection. Right now, once both of these are plugged in, you want to just go ahead and check to make sure that they're working before you finish installing them. The way you can do that is by using the activation buttons. So that's this button right here and this button right here. If we go ahead and click that button, you'll see that it turns on. If we push this button in the top, we'll see that it switches to white. So that side is working. Just click the button on this side. That button right there, the red is working. And the white is working. So both sides are working. We can go ahead and turn this off again. Click those buttons. Now once that's done, we're going to start by installing this metal piece. The way you're going to do that is you're going to make sure this black piece of plastic is ready and lined up. And we're going to go ahead and push the wires back and then line up that hole with this little tower there on that black piece in the center. And then these tabs should just pop into place just like that. Now, once the centerpiece is done, you want to make sure that it did pop onto those tabs on all four sides. Once that's done, we're going to go ahead and tuck these wires back in, and now we can install the map lights on either side. Now, it's actually easier to do this by pushing the map lights in this direction, like that, from the outside moving in, because of these little latches that you guys can see on the side. So we're going to go ahead and tilt it this way, and then push it, kind of rock it back into place like that. Push that in. And then it should just click into position, just like that. All right, and just like that, your Meso Customs Ultimate Dual Color Map Lights are installed. When you push on them, they should turn on. And then you got this button in the center that will change them from red and white LEDs. Hopefully that answered all your guys' questions, but if you still have some questions, make sure and let us know down there in the comments below, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. If you want to grab a set of these Meso Customs map lights for yourself, we do have them on our website, 4runnerlifestyle.com. I'll go ahead and leave a link down there in the description. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Hope to see you guys in the next video.